Hey everybody, I want to come to you and I want to talk about change. You see, there's a lot of reasons why a lot of people can't make the big changes that they want to make inside their life, and most of it is because of bad information that's getting put out there. I mean, sure enough, they're giving us some of the components that it takes to make changes, but it's really surface level stuff. See, there's a different level to manifesting things inside your life, things that's bigger than the law of attraction. I actually talk about a lot of these things in my book, The Reverse Effect, the 7 life-changing principles. If you want to think about getting your copy, you could just go over to my bio and click the link, and I will send you a personally signed copy from me. And I pay the shipping costs. Okay, back to the program. Change is something that happens for me from an internal perspective. A lot of times we're often looking outside of ourselves to look for things that will be able to help us create the change that we want inside of our lives. Now, true enough, there are a lot of resources, there are a lot of outside things that can support us making the big change, but true change, true transformation is something that has to happen from within. A wise teacher once said, everything that you need is already inside of you. And I think a lot of times we waste a lot of times focusing on the wrong things to manifest massive change inside of our lives. Sure, I often hear people always talk about things like mindset is the key. And I will say this, mindset is a key, but it's not the key. When you really want to start to make big changes inside your life, you have to first broaden your perspective. Because if we don't change the way we think about things, if we don't change the way we look at things, if we don't change the way we process the things that we look at, it's rarely going to be, it's going to be very difficult, let me say, to create the change that we want inside of our lives. So you can have a go-getting, winning mindset, but if you have it within a narrow perspective or a fear perspective or a perspective that doesn't align to the goal that you want to achieve, that mindset is just going to drive you in circles. And most of the time, this is going to have a lot of us feeling like failures. And that feeling of failure is something that holds a lot of us back. One of the things that I don't hear a lot of people talk about when it comes down to creating massive change inside of our lives is our habits and how to actually address habits. See, there's a lot of us that want to stick to the myth that habits can be created and strengthened in 21 days. And of course, I get it. Why not want to believe that? But it's just not true. You might can create a habit in 21 days, but it takes nurturing, a consistent nurturing of that habit for it to become something that aligns to the goals that you want to achieve and using less energy. While we're talking about energy, I want to talk about another of the falsehoods that we're led to believe that we need in order to make massive change inside of our lives, and that's willpower or grit or sure determination or grinding against all odds. And that just takes too much energy. We don't really have to use that much willpower all the time. One, is very difficult to use willpower all the time because studies show we only have a limited amount of willpower. Now, and it doesn't mean that we can't increase our capacity and willpower, but pretty much per day, you start out with a limited amount. And if you drain that on small things, you'll find it very difficult to apply that to big things. Because when we start focusing on habits, our habits is our brain's natural way to conserve energy. All right. But habits take investment. And without investment, it's going to be very difficult to get the change that we seek inside of our lives, especially for the things that lie outside of our comfort zone. That's another thing. Things lie outside of our comfort zone. Outside of our comfort zone is where the change happens. If we want to make massive change inside of our life, but we want to keep the same routines, we want to hang around the same people, we want to think the same way and do the same things that we always done and expect change, to me, that's craziness. So we have to be willing to step outside of our current self so that we can become the self that we want. And that's a way of growth and growth expression. I think growth expression is a key to longevity because as long as we're growing and progressing, we're actually moving, causing us to have better qualities of life, especially if we align that movement to our purpose, our dreams, or the things that we actually want to achieve. And speaking about change, change is something that everyone can do. We just have to seek the correct formulas on how to do it. Is there a one-size-fit-all formula? No, I can't say that. But there are like you say, success leaves clues. So there are formulas that you can actually follow to create the change that you want inside your life. Also, since we're here, if you click the link inside my bio, you'll see I have a program called How to Gain Clarity and Become 3 times as Productive in Less than 30 Days. And even if you make the choice not to take the program, I have some free content if you go on there that you can actually look at that can help you make great steps. And I believe there's also I know there's also a downloadable planner that you can get on there. So back to what we're talking about now, because all of this is relevant. And this is the thing about making change easy, is when we start making all the pieces to our puzzle in life relevant towards what we want to do, this now means we are not wasting energy, because everything has meaning, even things from our past, even the things that's happening to us in our present, and the things that we want to manifest inside of our future. And that becomes with alignment. But of course, there's no alignment without clarity. One of the best things that we can work on for our day-to-day habits is gaining clarity, getting clear on what we want to do, why we want to do it. Because when we become clear on those things, the hows and the whats and the wheres and the whens, all those things take care of themselves. So I wanted to jump in, get this up, talk to you about creating change, and stop relying on the things that do not work for you to get the change that you want, because we're all capable of the change that we desire. We just have to figure out how this formula fits for us and start to throw away all the things that are no longer truth. One of the things that I say is, I don't care how truthful something is to someone else. If it's not working for me at this moment, it's currently a lie. It doesn't mean that that thing won't become a truth down the line, but for right now, it's not a truth. So figure out the things that's working for you. But the best place to start with that is figure out what has not been working and stop doing those things, at least in the order that you're doing them right now, and start to try something new. Create new habits, set new goals. But when we start to set these different goals, let's be smart about it. And let's make these lifestyle changes instead of thinking that we're going to get overnight results for things that take longer processes. Because as long as you stick to the right process, you will end up exactly where you want to be. I thank you for listening. I hope this helps. Please follow me if you're not following me. If you have any questions, drop some comments down inside the comment section, because I am on a mission right now. I am answering every comment personally. So if you have any questions, just hit me up. If you want to find out more about some of the things that I do, click the link inside the link tree and let's connect in. And remember, always strive to be the strongest version of yourself. Never compare yourself to average people, or you'll never be more than average. Until next time.